The following Zoom session is being recorded and will appear later today on my YouTube channel, Math with Mayo. Therefore, when you participate in the Zoom meeting, if you do not wish for your picture or your name to be made public, please leave the video off and use an alias name. If you have questions during the meeting but do not wish to speak, email me at bmayo@ybcc.edu and I'll respond as soon as I can. All right, so today we're going to be reviewing for the Chapter 3 test, and we're going to start out. We have some questions from a couple of students. So let's get started. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. So as you can see on the web assigned screen on the left, we're going to start with number. Okay, it's not letting me graph yet. Let's try this. There we go. Number 17. It says, find the grade of the ramp shown below, where h is 1.1 feet or foot and the length is 26 feet. So basically we have that picture. All right, so the slope being rise over run would be 1.1 foot over 26 feet. The units of feet would cross out because they're the same. 1.1 divided by 26 equals 0.04230769, and who knows after that. Okay, it says round to the nearest 1/10 of a percent. Well, this number right here is not yet a percent. So we're going to multiply it by 100%, which moves the decimal point over 2 places. So then we'd have that. But it says round to the nearest 1/10 of a percent. The 3 would round down. So final answer, 4.2%. Any questions about any parts of that? Okay, that takes us to problem number 24. Number 24, it says, find an equation of a line with a given slope that passes through the given point. Write the equation in slope-intercept form. So the slope is 2, and the point that it passes through is 2, 3. All right, so using y equals mx plus b, we know that the slope is 2. So y equals 2x plus b. To find b, or the y-intercept, we'll take the point we're given, put 2 in for the x and 3 in for the y. And then, simplifying, we get this. Solving for b, we get that. So the slope is 2, the y-intercept is -1. So y equals 2x minus 1. So that is our equation. Now, graphing it, we know that the slope is 2 and the y-intercept is -1. So we could come over to the graph. Now, the black line, I believe, is the one the student chose. The green line is the correct answer. But in either case, we would start with a y-intercept of -1, which would be right there. And then the slope of 2. Oh, I didn't write it there. We would go from there up 2 and over 1, up 2 and over 1. So you could plot a point, let's say here, and then here, and draw the line. Any questions about problem 24 before we go on? All right, let's go to problem 25. Oops, lost my paper here. Find an equation of the line with the following characteristics. Write the equation in slope-intercept form passing through those 2 points. All right, so we're going to call this point 1 and this point 2. To find the slope, we'll use the slope formula. X1. See here. y sub 2 is negative 1, y sub 1 is 2, x sub 2 is negative 4, and x sub 1 is also 2. Negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3, negative 4 minus 2 is negative 6. Negative 3 divided by negative 6 simplifies down to a half. So the slope is 1/2. Okay. So using y equals mx plus b, that 1/2 is going to go right there. Then we can use either ordered pair to plug in for x and y to find b, but don't use part of one and part of the other. I'll go ahead and use point 1. So x is 2, y is 2. 2 equals 1/2 times 2 plus b. 2 equals 1/2 times 2 is 1. 1 plus b, subtract 1, and b equals 1. So y equals 1/2 x plus 1. They have it written this way, y equals x over 2 plus 1. Oops, that looks like an x. It's supposed to be a y. Anyway, those are the same thing. Any questions on number 5? All right, number 28 coming up next. It says graph the inequality. We have y less than or equal to negative 6x. So considering the equation y equals negative 6x, I would find the x and y intercepts. You don't have to, but those are points I like to find. If y is 0, 0 equals negative 6x, divide both sides by negative 6, x equals 0. This goes through the origin, so now we'll need to find another point. And what I want to do is I want to look and see the points that they found. Negative 6, 6. Okay, so they used 0 and negative 6. If x is negative 6, y would be 36, which is off the graph. So let's pick something smaller. And here's their first problem. They've got negative 6, 6. So the calculation was off on that. Okay, how about if we use, let's just use 1. If x is 1, y is negative 6 times 1, which is negative 6. Okay, so I've got those 2 points, 0, 0, and 1, negative 6. So I'd come over here and plot 0, 0. And 1, negative 6, which would be these 2 points right there. You can see that green line. Okay. Then a test point, just figure out which, well, actually, let's go back and should this line be solid or dotted? It should be solid. So that was another problem with the student's answer. They made the line dashed or dotted. It should have been solid because of the equal sign included. Tell you what, let's use negative 3, 0 as a test point. So that goes in here. So y is 0. We have 0 less than or equal to 18. That's true. So this test point is correct. So we would shade on this side of the line. So again, the green answer is the correct one here. The black dashed line should be solid. And this point is off. Okay, so that's what was wrong with that one. Now I'm going to switch screens for a minute while I change information. We have another student's questions. So let me get to that. Let's see here. I provide my own background music. Let's see. Chapter 3 review. And problems 8 and 10.
I may have already answered them correctly, but it took me several times to get to the answer. So I'm just wanting like, so that I have the steps down, if that makes sense.
No problem.
Okay.
And here I was trying to be discreet and not let anyone know whose questions these were, but okay.
That's fine. Right. I'm okay with it.
All right, let's take a look at number 8. The graph of a linear equation is shown. All right. When the coordinates of point A are substituted into the equation, will a true or false statement result? Well, point A is on the line, so it should come out as being true, right? It should be a solution to the equation. Then point B, when the coordinates of point B are substituted in the equation, will the true or false statement result false? So basically what we're saying is point A is on the line, point B is not. And that's all they're asking about. You okay with that?
Okay, I understand now. I was like, I was totally really confused.
Sure, sure. You were looking, well, where's the equation? What equation? Okay. Number 10. A restaurant offers a party package for children that includes everything: food, drinks, cake, and favors. The cost C in dollars is given by the equation C equals 8n plus 50, where n is the number of children attending the party. Graph the equation. Okay, so we've got C equals 8n plus 50. That's in slope-intercept form. So the slope is 8 and the y-intercept is 50, okay? So what we could do, we know from that one of the points would be 0, 50. So you could click on that. First, you'd start with the box that has the solid line. I think it's this one. Can't tell though, turn it blue. You'd click on that point, and then you'd need to find another point. Now, you know the slope, so you could go up 8 and over 1, but because your scales are different on your x-axis and your y-axis, I think I would find a second point. So again, we know we have this point because of the y-intercept. Let's see. What if we let n equal 1? So then we'd have 58. So 1, 58 would be a second pair. So we could click on 158. Now, my guess is that when we tried to do that, it wouldn't show up where we want. So again, we come here and we could put in, let's see, you used 0, 50, and it looks like you used 16, 178, which is great. Okay. But I would have just put like 158 in for one of the other pairs, because all you need is 2 points on that line. Doesn't matter which 2 points they are.
Okay, that makes sense. Yes.
Yeah, and you know, you could spend a bunch of time, and maybe you did, trying to come up with nice numbers, but you don't need nice numbers because you can go right in here and put in not nice numbers. Again, don't use mixed numbers and don't round numbers off. So if it ends up being an improper fraction, just leave it as an improper fraction. All right, with that?
Yes.
Well, I've got this open. Anything else you want to look at there?
I can't remember which ones I missed out. I only wrote those 2 down, so.
Right. Anything else from either one of you there that you want to look at? Okay. Then what I want to do is remind you of 10 things. If I were to give you a pop quiz right now and say, from memory, write these 10 things down. If you couldn't do it, then you're not ready for the test. Okay. You need to know these 10 things, and you need to know them from memory. So item number 1, to find an x-intercept. What do? Anybody know?
Set the y to 0.
Yes, set y equal to 0 or complete the following ordered pair. Good job. Item number 2, to find a y-intercept. What do you do there? Set, oops.
Ah.
Yeah, if I push too hard on the screen, it moves. Set what?
X to 0.
X equal to 0 or complete the following ordered pair. That's supposed to be a 0. All right, let's see. Number 3. X equals a number is the equation of a vertical line. Y equals a number is the equation of a horizontal line. Any questions about that? All right. The slope formula is m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. The slope of a vertical line is
Undefined.
what's that? Undefined? Yes?
Yes.
Good. The slope of a horizontal line is what?
0.
0. Good. Let's see. 8 parallel lines have the same slope. So if line 1 and line 2 are parallel, then the slope of line 1 is equal to the slope of line 2. Also, if you have two lines with the same slopes, then they're parallel, unless it's the same line. But anyway, okay. Well, that comes up later. Okay. Perpendicular lines have slopes that are what?
Reciprocals?
A little bit more than that.
Mm,
They're opposite or negative reciprocals. So you
okay.
not only flip it over, but you change the sign. Okay, don't forget that.
Okay.
And finally, what's number 10? What haven't I covered? We've already used it today.
The slope or point slope.
Slope intercept form.
Okay.
Yeah, the point slope formula I talked about briefly, but I don't expect you to know it or to use it. You can if you want to, but I
Okay.
choose not to because you can get around it. Anyway, so you should know how to use those 10 things because they do tend to come up a lot when you're graphing or writing equations from a graph, et cetera, et cetera. All right. Anything else you'd like from me before we go?
I think that's it for me.
Okay. Viola?
No questions.
All righty. Well, I will be back this afternoon at 1:15 with an office hour. Likewise, well, not likewise, but so tomorrow morning, there will be no Zoom meeting scheduled. I mean, if you come there, there'll be a sign that'll say, hey, just take your test. Okay.
Okay.
So we won't be meeting as a class tomorrow. I will be back tomorrow afternoon with an office hour as well. So the next time I will see y'all is on Monday.
Okay.
So I will
Okay,
stop
thank you.
the recording just a second here.